On this show, you'll find inspiration, motivation, and advice from experts, as well as valuable tips on how to get started or improve your business. Let's dive into how you can begin and grow your wisdom business. Inspiring others looks different for everyone. How will you inspire? Welcome to the Wise Dome podcast, and today we're chatting with Jane Stoller. Jane, welcome to the Wise Dome podcast.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
I'm very excited to have you because I want to learn way more about what you do, and so you need to tell our audience who you are and what you do and how you got into what you do.
I love this question because I discovered my passion at 6 years old. I was very naturally organized. I used to organize my pet cats. They wouldn't stay put, and my books by color, my closet. And if anybody listening has kids between the ages of 6 and 8, is usually where you can see tendencies of organization or disorganization.
Right,
so
okay.
Also a great time to instill those. But for me, I was just loved organizing. My teachers, I helped them, my classmates. My parents are Swiss, so naturally I grew up very organized. The country's organized. Yeah. But I discovered my passion, and I've been doing it as a side hustle since I was 6 years old. And I'm from Canada, so I still, went to university, got a normal job, worked in corporate for 10 years, tried to start a professional organizing business, failed the first time back in 2005. Didn't have podcasts and mentors and courses like we do now. And then in 2017, I launched again. And now it's my full-time business.
Awesome. Well, congratulations for that.
Oh, thank you. It takes a lot of grit to be an entrepreneur. So.
Oh, it does, doesn't it? You've just got to have, you say in Australia, you've got to have the balls for it.
You literally do. I like the Australian lingo.
I know it's a bit cheeky, but so you stopped obviously between. What made you stop and then go back in again?
Yeah, I actually never stopped. It was always a side hustle. But, after I went back to school, I actually had an MBA. And then after that, I was like, I'm going to start this professional organizing business at full time. And I just didn't have the confidence. So then I stopped, but I still continued on the side.
Yep.
And the funny thing is I did homes, and I also did businesses like processes, and I have a consulting background. And I was just letting you know, I spent time in Australia with different companies, helping them organize their business processes, like helping making unprofitable business profitable. So a lot. And I think it's all about organizing every single business. Whether it's a big corporate company or you're a solopreneur, it's all about being organized. So now I primarily help women entrepreneurs get their business organized.
That's awesome. So the process, like you said, and I love it. I totally love it because I'm a bit of an organizer myself. I remember I used to clean my cousins' bedrooms. They were boys, and I was like 6.5. And I remember my grandmother saying, "This one here, watch out for her." But I think it's just amazing. Like it is. It's when you're running a business on your own, whether it's whatever business it is, you do have to stay organized, and you could be doing a million things in one day because as entrepreneurs, micropreneurs, sometimes we're doing a million things. So you have to have things organized. So I would love to ask you, how do you coach people to get organized? Like, what is the first thing you do to get people organized?
Yeah. So I used to go and meet with them personally and sit down and do like an intake form. And I still do that a little bit. I have an intake form for any calls you have with me. But first, I really want to know what your struggle is. What are you stressed about? What is even on this podcast, if you're listening, why did you listen to this podcast? And what are the triggers that you have? Is it your attic, your closet, your emails, your paper? Is it your digital life? There's something that's stressing you out when you hear the word organized. So we usually start with a blanket, conversation about that, so I can really understand what your challenges are. And a lot of it is like mindset, like a lot of coaching is. If you need discipline. If you want to hire a weight loss coach or a fitness coach or a life coach, you have to do the work and also understand where you got to focus on. So we really dive down into what the issues are and the mindset. A lot of people say, I'm never going to be organized. And that's where we can say, no, we can make choices and put work into it, and you will be organized. So we kind of start with their needs and your own challenges.
Yeah, and that sounds awesome. Did you, obviously over time, you've evolved Did a lot of those changes or any changes you've made come from feedback from your clients or your experiences you've had with clients? How have you altered?
100%. And I think the biggest mistake that I made was launching a course first and not asking for feedback from my clients. So I just launched a course and think people will buy it. And that does not never happen. Like it might for some people, but I mean, 99% of it never happens. So did try that a couple of times. Then I hired a business coach and she's like, no, you have to interview 50 people first and then get the feedback of what they actually want. So did that. And then within my course, there's always feedback. Every single week on my Tuesday calls, I get feedback. When somebody finishes my course, feedback, and I'm always updating the portal, usually little things in my course, but big, like at least twice a year, a big facelift with feedback. And it's always changing.
Yeah. And I'm so happy you said that because I think a lot of people, we just go out and put information out there expecting people to want literally what we're giving them.
Yeah.
But in the end, you have to ask and find out what they need first a lot of the time. But you always have to review and revise, always, no matter what it is, because everyone's changing constantly. And I think that's fantastic. You do that very regularly and consistently. So that's really good.
I didn't realize how important it is because it's we think we know what people want, but you have to continually ask your current clients, your future clients. You just have to keep asking.
Yeah. And what's the biggest challenge you've come across?
It used to be marketing myself. That's why I failed the first time. I was scared. I didn't know how. It's a scary thing to say. You have to sell. Like if you're an entrepreneur, I have to sell every single day. I have to get out in front of people. So that was a huge challenge to overcome. And the second challenge was actually creating a course that would sell, committing to it, doing the pre-work and the research before. So getting over the hump that just because I think the course is going to work, really digging in to do the work and say, what do people really want from a professional organizing coach? Yeah. So those two challenges, the marketing and, the research side have been pretty challenging.
Yeah. Isn't it? I think it's for everyone, isn't it? It's just one of those.
Oh yeah. Everybody.
You've got to put the effort in a little bit at the start.
Yeah, you do. And if it was easy, everyone would do it. If it's like, I always say, if it was easy to have an online course, we'd all be doing it.
Exactly.
And there's a lot out there, but it's you need to put in a lot of effort and it's rewarding but challenging.
Yeah. And look, this might be like, I guess it's how long is a piece of string, to be honest, but how with your programs, like you say, your coaching, could it just last for however long your client needs it? Or do you actually have set programs?
So I used to do it in a 6-week accelerator course. Mm-hmm. But now I do lifetime access for my course. It's still 6 steps now, not 6 weeks. I find some people take a year. And I offer lifetime access. Alumni come back sometimes and jump on the calls. So I just found that lifetime people like that. And it's done really well. And it's the same model my business coach taught. So it just kind of works that way.
Now, that's really good. That's actually really good advice there for some people out there, because sometimes you feel like you have to put it in a certain boundary when it's not necessarily the case. And a lot of people do like to be able to come back again, especially with this type of topic like organizing.
Yeah.
You get lost along the way sometimes.
And your business changes and systems update and you get more people and every single quarter I have my clients go into their steps and their business plan and just update. Yeah. That's what my goal is. But that's why I like the lifetime access.
Yeah. And how do you go about, so in business perspective, how do you go about, obviously you have one member and then they've got lifetime connection to you. Mm-hmm. Do you have follow on sort of opportunities to earn income from them again later down the track? Or, how does it work with you for the business side of things?
That's a really good question, because I was thinking about putting a membership model on, and that's a lot of work too. So anybody who's thinking about doing that, it's a lot of work. But I also have other streams of income that are kind of attached. Like I still host in-person workshops and my current clients get a deal on it. So if they want to come and have me in person, I also I have a financial plan and I sell insurance on that. I don't advertise this, but I totally have always believed in critical illness, life insurance, and,
Yeah.
Protecting your business insurance. So I sell that to a lot of my clients because I share my financial plan and this is how I structure it. So they actually, that's another way, another income that I derive from them.
Yeah.
But otherwise, there's no other membership platform. It's continually new clients.
Amazing. So you got to continually grow and put yourself out there.
Yeah, I got to sell every single day. And, it's tough. And the membership platform will be tough too. So it's, they're both,
like you said, you've been doing well now. And I guess because of what you offer and how you support your current clients, word of mouth, I'm sure, is a huge thing for your business.
Oh, at least one in every three, clients I have will refer somebody that joins a program. And I don't have a formal referral program, but I say anybody who, if you refer somebody and they join, you get $500 back. So it's a big incentive. And if they like my course, they will pass it on. So most of my business is referrals and social media.
See, that's the best way to go, isn't it?
Yeah.
I really believe it's the best. Like we've just launched our platform and it was funny because someone was asking me, so how, when are you going to start advertising? I'm like, we're not advertising yet. We are not going to be advertising. We want people to use our platform and tell other people about the platform.
I love that.
It's a good indication of how it's working, how it's going.
Yeah.
So I think that's really good. I love that. 1 in 3 people, that's very high. That's very good.
It's really high. And I think because it's not an totally online course. I still support live on Tuesdays and it's a nice community we've grown. So I'm very, very, very happy with that conversion rate. And I've never run an ad. I've never spent money on Facebook ads yet or did advertising because I just grown organically and YouTube channels, my YouTube videos still bring in like those evergreen models you have. And I have an evergreen sales funnel, but those things that are consistently there still bring in, like, people still land on it and say, oh, reach out. So never underestimate what you put out there.
No, exactly. And and another part of that too is reusing the assets you put out there in multiple
I don't do that
ways.
enough.
Yeah. Because that's one of the biggest challenges I remember we had. It was just like, oh, we have to keep creating this. And it's like, no, hang on a minute. You put a video out there, but it can also be a blog. You can also do this. You can be a post.
Exactly. And you're so right. I'm just thinking now I have to use a few that I've already posted and take the quotes from it, right? So
yeah, exactly. And how have you grown personally through this whole experience?
Oh my gosh. So I think the biggest thing is just like being an entrepreneur has the biggest highs and the biggest lows you'll ever experience. And the challenge too is, like I said, coming from corporate for so long, like being able to market yourself and get over your fear of being judged in society and, imposter syndrome, all of those things I think everybody deals with.
Yeah.
And that's been an aha moment for me, just being like, I have to deal with all these things that I've heard about for so long, and now I'm dealing with it. So it really is true. But luckily we have the podcasts, we have communities, you have more support than you've ever had, ever. Like there is communities I could join everywhere, in person, online, that could support me as an entrepreneur now.
Yeah. And that's the biggest thing, isn't it, to anyone who is, and there's a lot of online businesses and so forth, but the knowledge sector, like sharing your knowledge online, that's like an extra element there, isn't it? Because it's sort of, you're opening yourself up. You're opening up to other people about yourself more than anything, not just selling a product necessarily. It's also about you. So it's even harder to sort of go past that imposter syndrome and all those sort of things. And a lot of people tend to just sit there and say, oh, I don't know how to ask for help or whatever. But there is so much out there, isn't there? And there's so many different ways of getting help. But one of the biggest things you pointed out was you had a business coach. And that, I think, is something that a lot of people, even Warren Buffett's and all that sort of stuff, they still have coaches.
Exactly.
Everyone has a coach. It doesn't matter how
the best athletes in the world have coaches. Like everybody. And I think hiring a coach is not a failure. It's like a success. So I still have a coach. I had a different one in the beginning. I think you need to always have one. And I mean, it's a business write-off. So just do it.
Yeah, exactly. And look, here in Australia, I know, and probably over in Canada too, probably the same thing, or worldwide, but there's grants out there as well.
Oh, yes.
governments
Where
provide.
there's so many grants. I feel like Canada and Australia are very similar countries.
Yeah, they are. I'm like,
Yeah, but there's a ton of grants and you just have to look for it, and the training up, like if you type in training grant in your province, or you should probably find something.
Yeah, exactly. And I appreciate you saying that you had a coach, because it is so true. Some people actually don't want to admit they had a coach, which is really weird.
Yeah, it's so weird.
So it's like, I boast it. I've got a coach. She's freaking awesome. But anyway, so my next question to you is, with respect to, you know, where you're at the moment, you kind of touched on this a little bit before, but where are you planning on going to from here? Do you have any plans?
I know, it's so interesting because I did have a bigger team and I was like but actually I like just where I am right now. Like my course is running, I have other income streams, and 80% of my time is on my course, 20% is on speaking and workshops and insurance, and I have a few Airbnbs. So it kind of, I just feel really settled right now. And I don't want to get comfortable because then it's dangerous, but I just need to, you know, focus on the course, make it the best organizing coaching course in the world. And that's what I really want to focus on.
Yeah.
Not necessarily scale wise or, you know, numbers, but just quality, more expensive, and just really hone in on that.
Yeah. Now that's really good. And do you have a plan further down the track on how you might sort of pull away slowly, or, you know, like 5-year plan?
Yeah. So everybody, like I always say, like your business is valuable and someday you'll want to sell it. So it's interesting enough, you mentioned the reoccurring income. Like if you ever want to sell a business, that's really important to have, to show investors to say, this is how much money is coming in automatically. So I do have to figure out a way to make some kind of, you know, make it sellable. And I think all of our businesses are bigger than we think. So 5-10 years down the road, I'd like to be able to be in that position to say, this is the business. I can hire people to be coaches for Organize Jane, maybe scale it like that so I can step away. But eventually in 10 years, make it a sellable business.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you will get there because you're certainly on the road to it.
Yeah, we all are. I think that should be a good mindset. And my lawyer, she always helped me. She always says, like, you have so much intellectual property in your business and you need to treat it like it's going to sell one day. Like the money you're putting into it is all just like in real estate. You're putting in money into it, or an investment into your business. So she helped me change that mindset.
That's very good. I love that. And what legacy are you looking to leave?
Well, similar to, you know, kind of like the passion, we can do anything. Like a professional organizer is you can make a living off that. So the legacy is like, go after your passion and that organizing is really, I think, can save the world's problems, because being organized can help people, you know, countries do better, and our environment, like everything deals with organization. We can save more money, we can help more people in need. So I think just that is really the root of, you know, so many things if we just get more organized.
Agreed. And do you have a little tip for any of our listeners with respect to organizing? Because this is your genius zone.
Yeah.
What would be, if someone has, okay, let's just, I'm trying to think of what the most common, well, you would know, what's the most common mess that people have, whether it's tangible, visual, or online? How would you suggest they just dive into it?
So the biggest thing I see is, you know, stuff you automatically think closet or attic or office. So that's a good one to tackle, because even if you are cluttered in your digital world or your mental capacity, start with that messy space that you're putting time and effort in and thinking about. The closet for women is a great place to start. And spring, we're having spring here, you have the different seasons. So yeah, you're going into fall. So it's, you know, this is a great time to reevaluate what's in your closet and to donate. So somebody else really needs that. So we're always overwhelmed to start, but start really small. So I asked in the beginning to write down or think about those things that are causing you the stress, whether it's a closet or attic or junk drawer or emails. I would really think, what is the one thing I can get rid of today in that space, and keep it going for every single day. And then you'll have decluttered 365 items. I like to keep a donate box in my house. It's labeled donate. Keep it in your closet and your entryway. And that really helps to lower the clutter and just to remember that you're, you know, you can donate every single day.
Yeah, I love it. Do you have an offer that you'd like to share with our audience today?
So yes, I would talk so much about courses and how important they are. And maybe you're thinking about doing a course, but my signature offering is a 6-step process on how to get the back end of your business organized. It's not for new business owners, because a new business owner, I want you to sell and focus on that. But once you're ready to get organized, maybe scale, hire somebody, come to myself. I offer a free 30-minute consult where I just talk to you about your organizing challenges. So jump on that call with me. I'm going to send you the link so you can put it in the underneath the podcast, because it's an opportunity to talk about your challenges, and that's my offering.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much, Jane, for your time today. I really appreciate it. And all the details to Jane's offer will be in a link in our podcast summary below. Be sure to click on the link, and don't forget to subscribe to the Wise Dome podcast. Jane, thank you again so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for listening to the Wise Dome podcast. If you enjoyed and have been inspired by this episode and you'd like to support the podcast, do subscribe and please share it with others. Post about us on social media or leave a rating and review. To catch all the latest from me, Nikki Kelly, you can follow me on Instagram at Wise Dome Podcast, WISEDOME Podcast. I'm Nikki Kelly. Thanks again, and we'll catch up next time.